Hello and welcome everyone. Today we are going to be looking at MLM Gateway, which is a social media type website for network marketers. And today we want to go over some strategies and tips to help you to actually get signups, make commissions, show you the benefits of MLM Gateway. So with that said, this is going to be quite a long video because there's a lot to cover, but if you're using MLM Gateway, I believe you'll find a lot of benefit to this. Okay, so first, here we are on the dashboard. As you see over here, I don't know if you can really see my cursor well, but I'm on the dashboard. And this is, the main page, I guess, when you first come on. And I've written a blog post. This video goes with the post. And, the first thing I explain is kind of what to expect with MLM Gateway. And when you're new, you'll be getting a lot of people that, may send you, requests like they're interested in joining your business. And when you accept it and use your credit, you realize that they wanted to actually just show you theirs. So you got to kind of watch that. Expect a lot of people reaching out to you because you're new. And as you see here on the dashboard, all the new people are showing up. 15 minutes ago, 18, 25 minutes ago, 31, 30. So every few minutes, a new person joins. And they're on the dashboard. So being a fresh member, a lot of people will be reaching out to them because everybody on the platform can see that you joined. So expect a lot of people in the beginning to be reaching out, asking you if you're interested in joining their business, etc. But if you really pay attention to what I'm going to show you in this video, you'll be able to sign up new team members, make several affiliate commissions, and there's a lot of ways you can make money in this industry, not just getting signups into your own business. So anyway, here we go. We're going to start with becoming a featured professional. If you're just signing up, there's a link in the description below in this video. There's a link on my blog. If you're not a member of MLM Gateway, I highly recommend you do it. And if all possible, become a featured professional or a premium member because it has so much value to it. For instance, if you are a free member, the only way to get credits, and you need credits to connect with people. It takes 1 credit to send a connection request. It takes at least 1 credit to run an ad or to get a click on an ad, a minimum of 5. You have to have 5 to run an ad, but you have to bid at least 1 credit per visitor. So credits are important. But if you become a featured professional, when you write a business announcement, instead of getting 5 credits for a business announcement, you get 10. And when you refer someone, instead of getting 10, you get 15. So you get more credits for the same activity, plus every month they reload you with new. I think it's like, 60 credits a month or something like that. That's quite a bit. You can do quite a bit with 60 credits. And you can also, as a featured professional, you'll get offers such as 250 credits for $50, selling you credits for pretty cheap. So I would highly recommend to become a featured professional and take advantage of the benefits of that because you'll get more out of the platform that way. Next, what we're going to look at is building connections. So when you're brand new, you want to come to this dashboard and look for people who are new, or go to the featured professional section. Here it is. and look for people there to connect. And the reason I'm saying to do this, like featured professionals, you got to think about it. If they're a featured professional, they're going to be active. If you send somebody a connection request and they're not active, they may never accept it, and you just wasted a credit on, somebody who's not active. Also keep in mind, in the very beginning, you want as many connections as possible. You want to start reaching out to people, connecting with them, because the connections are the important piece. Every connection you have, when you write a business announcement or you send them a message, they get an email in their inbox, in their most of the time their primary email. That's almost like having them on your list. So when you write a new piece of content, if you've got 1,000 connections, then that's 1,000 people that get an email that you've written a new business announcement. That's a lot of people to promote it to. So in the beginning, you want to build your connections as much as possible. I did not do that when I started, and now looking back on it, I really wish I would have. I would say at least focus on getting 50 to 100 connections before you start doing anything else, okay? And I'll go over some tips on how to do that. But keep in mind, very important, build connections. Next, we're going to talk about the business announcement, because this is one of the most important pieces, okay? Well, I don't want to go to this page. Let's go to the public business announcement page. As you see here, here is where a lot of people will go and just scan over the business announcements. Each one of them is published by a different person. Okay, you get, of course, 5 credits. Here's mine, How to Grow Your MLM Business When You Have Little Time. You get 5 credits for every business announcement you create. 10 as a featured professional, right? And if you do a good job on the business announcement, you can actually get people reaching out to you wanting to join you. I have got a video on how to create a business announcement that will get you results. It will be published. It hasn't been published yet. I just wrote it today for the blog post that I'm writing on this one. And if you follow the formula I share in that video, your business announcements will generate leads every single time you write one, okay? If you don't follow it, it ain't going to happen. And I'll give you real quick a little brief example. The title is the most important part, right? So you got, this one's a pretty good one. Best types of prospects to recruit. All right. Best automated, that's pretty good. TS Life launching soon in my country, what to do now. The idea is your title needs to share a benefit with the reader. The reader needs to see the title and think, "Whoa, yeah, I want to know that." So make sure your title gives a benefit to the reader, not necessarily what you want them to do. As a matter of fact, it may be good not even to mention your business in it, just like a solution to a problem that people in network marketing face. And then you want to make it easy to read and not clutter it together. And you can refer to the video to learn more. But you want to write business announcements every single time you get on MLM Gateway. Every time you get on there, write another one. It's not as hard as you think. It may seem like, well, how do I keep coming up with ideas? You will. As you write them, more and more will bounce off of the last one you wrote. And before you know it, you're writing business announcements almost every day, building credits, building connections. and et cetera, et cetera. Now, when you go to a business announcement, we'll use mine, okay? This is the most recent one. We'll click on it. And as you see, I put a little picture at the very top to kind of brand it, but I also bust it up in little sections with little subtitles. It makes it easy to read. Somebody could go through it really, really quick. And the idea is, if you go on here and, as you see here, did this help? Please leave a comment below and send me a connection request. If you ask people to send connection requests, you'll get a lot of free connections that way without having to spend your credits. So ask for them in your business announcement. Ask for engagement. I don't even know. This one's new. I don't even know if it's got any engagement yet. No, it hasn't. Okay. But ask for it, and you, in many cases, get it. Just put it that way. Ask for it and you will get it. It's a good way to get connections. Also, from time to time, visit other people's business announcements and, leave comments. By doing that, not only will the person that wrote the announcement get a notification that you left a comment, and by doing that, a lot of them will send you a connection request. That's a good way to get connections if you're out of credits. But also, people that read these announcements will see your comments, and you'll get even more connection requests. So you don't always have to be the one sending the request. If you become active, comment, write business announcements, etc., more people are going to discover you and start reaching out to you. I hope that makes sense. That's a good way to get a lot of free connections and, use your credits for running ads, which we're about to get into, I believe, next. And ads are probably the biggest advantage to it. So let's go over to advertising, right? All right, here we are at the ads. As you see, I've got quite a bit of ads I've created. And the click-through rate on MLM Gateway is going to be low. And the reason is because it's honest. Okay? There are websites out there that'll say, oh, you got 3%, 6%, 9%. Don't believe that, okay? A lot of people are seeing the same ad over and over and over and over and over. It's the same people seeing the same ad. So, 0.3 is a pretty decent percentage. 0.38 even better. Some of these got up to over 0.5%, which were pretty good click-through rate. But number one, when you run ads, you need a capture page. All of these lead to a capture page. Without a capture page, do not run ads. The idea is to get a visitor, and that visitor become a lead. If you don't have a capture page, don't waste your credits on ads. There's no point in getting visitors without knowing who's visiting, okay? Always keep that in mind. That's one of the most important things to understand. Now, if we take, for instance, this one here, it's had 1,122 clicks. And what I'm going to do is pull it up and show you. It's been a very powerful ad. I've got several team members. I'm offering 2 credits per click, which means every time somebody clicks it and becomes a visitor to my landing page, I lose 2 credits. And this ad has pulled in a lot of signups and even more leads, okay? So when I get a lead, what I do is, since I'm tracking it on my actual website, I come back and I look for that person. I go to the dashboard, and let's just say this Chuck Holmes guy here, he's the featured professional of the day, member of the day. Let's just say he was the one that visited my ad. I believe I may go over here to members is what it was. Yeah, members. And then what I would do is I would Chuck Holmes. I would search for him. Sometimes two names doesn't work. It did in this case. Sometimes you just use the first or the last name and it'll actually find them. So if you don't pull them up the first time, then try a first name or a last name. But you can always select all members and get better results. So if Chuck had replied to my ad, I would have pulled him up. Boom, there he is. I could click on his profile, send him a connection request, because remember, he looked at my offer, and when he accepts it, and I don't think anyone has never not accepted it. So when he accepts it, I'll reach out, message with him, which we're about to go over, and of course, get a conversation going, and then mention to him, oh yeah, you were looking at one of my ads, right? If he had an interest in what I had, then he will mention it in the message. And I've had a lot of sales commissions and signups doing this, which I don't know if they would have signed up had I not. I don't know, because, I did it. It led to them signing up after a few messages, or, buying whatever it was they were looking at. And so that it just increases the amount of sales you get. So when someone replies to if you don't have a way to track it to know, like, hey, that person came from MLM Gateway, you could always, I guess, search and see if that person is a member on here. And if it's the only ad you're running, well, then most likely it will be that one. But me, I'm running ads all over the place. Okay, so I don't know if I need a way to know which ad they came from. So I always track my clicks. Now, when you message someone, let's go over here to messages. When messaging people, you got to ask a question at the end of the message. Okay, let's just use Chuck here. Give him a little more exposure for being the member of the day. As you see, he's written lots of business announcements, which is good. But here's the default message right here. It says, hello, I'd like to tell you about my company, and I'd like to hear more about yours. Can we discuss this over email or arrange a meeting? I always erase that. Always erase that. Get rid of it. And then make the message personal. Make it, hello, thanks, just reaching out to connect. Would love to share value, share ideas, tips, and strategies. Sometimes I ask them, are you getting results with MLM Gateway? I always end it with a question. Every message is different. If I see something that I can relate to, I'll talk about it, like if we're in the same company. If they're in a company I used to be in, look for something you can kind of have in common with them to increase the interest level. And then at the end of your message, ask a question. Have you been using MLM Gateway for a long time? Are you getting results? Are you new to it? Or ask them a question about their company. But one of the things I like to do at the end, let's just say this is the end, I always say talk soon. And then I would put my name, kind of like a signature, and then under it, I would put a link to my blog. Now, I don't tell them to click it or go look at it, but I always put a link in my signature. And what I have found is a lot of people will click it and they'll go over to my blog. And I know this because a lot of people will come in as leads off my pop-up ad or a link on my blog, and I'll recognize the name, be like, oh, that's, the person I messaged. So they must have clicked the link in the signature, right? So always, if you got a personal blog, throw your personal name down there. I mean, you can't, if I had like a company name, it probably wouldn't get as many clicks. But since I have jcarden.com, they're going to be like, oh yeah, let me see what this person's doing and what it looks like. So if you got a personal branded blog, which I highly recommend, just throw it in your signature, and be sure to end with a question and then your signature. That's how you get conversations going. A lot of people do not do that. They use the default message, and if they do send me the default message, I accept it, and then I send them a question, and I'll try to start the conversation. So be the one that starts that conversation, and it will lead to a lot of people getting to know you and signing up with you. Now, last strategy you want to think about is your profile, okay? If you go click here, you want to make the most out of your profile, right? Put your company in there. I've had 186 people have visited my profile in the past 2 months. I got my website in there, got a little picture, got a video, include a video, your social profiles, make sure they're all there. And of course, I've got a lot of business announcements. But you see here recent updates. That is where I have, if you go to, I think, member list, you can put, no, not member list, dashboard. You can put share an update. You share an update right there. It can be anything, a link to something. And not many people are going to see it by sharing it as an update. But when they go to your profile, they will see that update. So it will become effective in another way. So from time to time, put up a new update for the purpose of someone going to your profile and clicking on it. And you can raise curiosity with it. For instance, need a lifetime of leads, get a life supply for no extra cost. That's a program I have. And then I'd put a link to it, hit post. And anytime somebody went to my profile, it would be the first update they seen. Each time you put up a new update, it pushes the others down. So I would, out of those 186 people the past couple months, I could probably generate a few leads out of people visiting my profile. Hopefully that makes sense. So guys, MLM Gateway, if you are doing the business announcements correctly, and you get that formula down pat, which I share in my blog post, which you can find through the links. If you're on YouTube, you can click the link in the description. If you're on my blog, you can find it. I will show you exactly in full detail how to make the business announcement convert. I have signed up many people through business announcements. I have made several leads and sales through business announcements, okay? And running ads. Those are the 2 lead generation tools. Everything else is like with messages, yes, they do lead to it. But nothing is more powerful than the business announcements and your ads. And when you run ads, I should have said this earlier, make a couple of different versions and split test them. Find the one that's working best and then run it permanently. Whenever you want to run an ad for it, use the one that gets the highest click-through rate. Also, you can, let's see, bump. If you get a good business announcement, let me go show you some of mine real quick. All right. There was one I bumped a couple months ago. Should be able to see it there it is. This one here, how to use MLM Gateway like a pro. My old logo. The other one's kind of new. But anyway, I see how I busted it up in little pieces and made it easy to read. This one wound up getting me quite a bit of signups. As you see, it got a lot of comments and engagement. It's just, when you have them that do well like that, you can go right there and hit bump. You bump it, if it did well the first time, most likely it's going to do good again. And I'll probably wind up bumping that one again pretty soon. but bump the announcements that get good engagement. If it doesn't, because believe me, I've written announcements I thought would do good and they didn't. Okay. If that's the case, I wouldn't bump them. But if they do really well, bump it. Also, when you write a business announcement, it is wise to, promote it on Facebook, to promote it on Twitter, to promote it heavily on other social media profiles. And this will help you drive traffic to the announcements, number one, which will help with SEO. I've seen business announcements rank on the top page of Google. So if you ever have that happen, that'll be great organic traffic. But also, there will be a lot of people that see your business announcement, come over to MLM Gateway and join, and then you're the referral. And if they purchase credits or become a featured professional, you get half of that subscription and half of what they spend. So definitely promote your business announcements to get more referrals, to get more credits, and to get better ranking. So guys, if you follow this formula, really you could spend not even maybe half an hour on MLM Gateway a day and get 1 to 3 new team members every month on just half an hour a day. It's not too bad. So hopefully you got some value from this. Maybe you learned some new things. If there's anything else I could share, I would. One thing I will share is, with leads, don't be the one that clicks to join somebody's business so you'll become a lead for them and then try to pitch them your business. I would never do that. That's kind of lying to the person, and you don't want to start your relationship with that person by lying to them, saying, hey, I want to join your business, and then they spend their credit that they paid for, and then you turn around and say, well, I was just wanting to know if you wanted to join mine. That's a good way for people to be like, forget you. I don't even want to mess with you. So don't be the one that tries to cheat and do something like that to trick people. You want to focus on your business announcements and your ads to generate leads and signups and build relationships through your messaging. And remember, when you're building your connections in the beginning, look for people who you know will be active. Build those connections, because the more connections you have, the greater your business announcements will do. So keep that in mind. And that should wrap it up. Hopefully you got a lot of value from this. And I will be catching you guys on the next video. So bye-bye.